A senior manager once told me that the Hawthorne Effect is a scientific explanation for micromanagement. Okay. Well, the Hawthorne Effect refers to people's tendency to work harder and perform better when they're part of a study or an experiment. So individuals tend to change their behavior due to the attention that they're receiving from researchers, and especially in the context of a work environment. And so they tend to increase their productivity. This is true. The original thesis, though, it was based on experiments conducted in the 1920s and 30s, and it was that this effect was due to workers being observed and monitored. And of course, when businesses got their hands on this nugget of information, they jumped on it, completely out of context, I might add. They used it to justify micromanagement. Now, as an aside, and totally unrelated to this video, micromanagement is the worst kind of management. If you are managing a team, for the love of God, don't micromanage them. It's a hideous, hideous management style. Anyway, subsequent research indicated that there may be other factors at play, such as the novelty effect, meaning that the novelty of having experimenters around can lead to an initial increase in productivity, which then, of course, later gradually peters off. Another contributing factor would be the sense of expectation on the part of the researchers, influencing the subjects to alter their behavior in order to help confirm the experimenter's hypotheses. So various different studies throughout the years and throughout the decades have shown, though, that the Hawthorne effect wears off after time. All of the time, even if the experiment and attention from the observers still continues. The observation from the experiment, as I suppose, loses its novelty factor, and so you get a return to equilibrium, so to speak. This, of course, means that researchers nowadays who strive for scientific findings go to great lengths to try and minimize the impact of the Hawthorne effect and the impact that it might have on their research. But even still, the true impact of the Hawthorne effect remains somewhat of a mystery, and it continues to baffle psychologists even today. It's called the Hawthorne Effect because it was discovered during a research project at the Hawthorne Western Electric plant outside Chicago. So, no, it's not a scientific explanation for micromanagement. There's no good reason to micromanage anyone. I mean, this is totally unrelated, but and maybe we'll do another video on it, but people confuse close supervision and support with micromanagement, and they're not the same thing. You will closely supervise a new worker, but if you micromanage an existing worker who's up to speed on everything, then it's just going to demotivate everyone. And anyway, the micromanager is the manager who doesn't manage. Don't even get me started.